Firstly, Richard, you've had much time to actually have a break yourself?
I haven't been away yet. Spent a fair bit of time in Cambridge, really, but some time with the family and grandchildren. So yeah, it's been good.
No, definitely. Yeah, you need it really after a hectic season, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got to be honest, and I don't feel as though I've had a break yet. I'm not going to go away until a week before we come back. So I normally do that because it just gives you a little bit of a livener before the season or pre-season starts.
And I mean, you've already done a lot of business so far with 6 new signings. So was that always the intention?
Well, it was the intention if we could persuade them to come. I mean, it looks probably from the outside that we've acted very quickly, but in essence we haven't, because they've been going on for some time, and it's very difficult to tell people why you're making decisions, that you're making the decisions for the long-term benefit of what's coming in the future, because there is an element where people will say they've heard all that before, but we've been very active since January.
I know you mentioned about trying to get some more experienced players in. Do you feel you've done that with what you've got so far, or are there still people you want to add to that sort of spine?
No, there's one more that we're very close with, who will be the most experienced player. So we hopefully be able to conclude that in the next day or two.
I suppose you must be glad that the board has backed you the way they have as well, because in terms of maybe last season there were times when it was a bit of a struggle, and it's been sort of fairly.
Well, no, I think everyone should know that the budget is marginally increased. It's just a question of how you use it, and the trouble for clubs at this time of the year is that they can end up with a lot of players still under contract and committed to financially, and it makes life very difficult to be able to move quickly. So that's the real reason why we made a lot of decisions in January and throughout the sort of end of the season. And obviously when the season finished, we were able to release, rightly or wrongly, all those who are out of contract, to give us some room to manoeuvre quickly, because we felt that we needed to rebuild. And I don't know, maybe Stockport's demise and what happened with Lincoln has probably just pushed people's mind back in the right direction, should we say, that this is not an easy league and you can't take chances with it. But we have been able to have some good meetings, Jez and I, with the board, and persuade them that for not too much more money, you can compete for what we consider to be one or two of the better players and more experienced players, and every team needs that. So yeah, it's been the culmination of a lot of work, really. Between the three of us, we saw 260 games last year. Ben will tell you he saw 259 of those, or at least that's what he told the board. So we've been very thorough, very thorough, and some of the players that we've signed we've seen 10 or 12 times.
And you must be quite excited about getting back out on the training ground. I know it's still probably 6 weeks away now, but
well, we've just talked. I hadn't really had a rest yet.
Yeah,
Aaron. So we are actually going to have a discussion this afternoon about pre-season, but it's a little bit away from my thoughts at the minute, to be honest.